Hello students, welcome to our YouTube channel Pratik Singh Classes. In this video, we will start from section 5.3.2, that is trends in the modern periodic table. This is the fourth video for unit 5 and 24th video for CBSE Standard 10th Science. I request you all to please subscribe our channel and hit the bell icon for all notifications. Alright. The first topic is valency. About valency, we already have seen that the number of electrons needed to fulfill the octet in the outermost orbit is called as valency, and the number of electrons available in the outermost orbit is called as valence electrons. Okay, so here what we see is the valency of an element is determined by the number of valence electrons present in the outermost shell of its atom. Never get confused in valence electrons and valency. Okay, once again let me repeat, the number of electrons available in the outermost orbit is called as valence electrons, and the number of electrons needed to fulfill the octet rule is called as the valency of the atom. Okay, and the valency of the atom is determined by the valence electrons. Okay, let us see activity 5.6. Okay, how do you calculate the valency of an element from its electronic configuration? About electronic configuration, we already have studied in unit 3 and unit 4 to find out the electronic configuration. Okay, so if suppose you know how to write the electronic configuration, will it help you to find out the valency of the atom? What is the valency of magnesium with atomic number 12 and sulfur with atomic number 16? Okay, so let us first start with atomic number 12, that is for magnesium. Okay, if the atomic number of magnesium is 12, then its electronic configuration will be 2, 8 and 2. Okay, that is 1s2, 2s2, 2p6, 3s2. That means in the outermost orbit of magnesium there are 2 electrons. Okay, so 2 is called as the valence electron. The valence electron of magnesium is 2. Okay, if suppose we have to make the magnesium atom inert, in that situation either we have to remove the 2 electrons in the outermost orbit from the outermost orbit, or add 6 electrons to the outermost orbit. Okay, but if we add 6 electrons in the outermost orbit of magnesium, okay, the electronic configuration will become 288. Okay, or if suppose we remove 2 electrons, it will become 2 and 8. Okay, that is total number of electrons will be 10, and the configuration will become 1s2, 2s2, 2p6. In that situation it will become inert. Okay, so it is always better to remove 2 electrons than to add 6 electrons. Similarly, find out the valency of the first 20 elements. Okay, for standard 10th you have just to memorize, okay, all the terms of first 27 elements. That is enough for your syllabus. How does the valency vary in the period on going from left to right? Okay, you will see that as we go from left to right, one electron is being added in the outermost orbit. Okay, and thus the valency and the valence electron changes. How does the valency vary in going from down the group? Okay, means when we go from top to bottom, whether the valency remains the same or changes. Okay, yes, it remains the same. Now coming to atomic size. Okay, as we know very well that when the number of electrons will increase, number of atomic number will increase, and thus the size will increase, but not in a perfect manner. Okay, so what really happens? All right, so what really happens is, as the number of cells will increase, atomic size will increase. Okay, the term atomic size refers to the radius of an atom, means how much bigger the atom is. The atomic size may be visualized as the distance between the center of the nucleus and the outermost shell of the isolated atom. Okay, and that is called as atomic size. The atomic radius of hydrogen is the least, that is 37 picometer. Okay, and it is given here 1 picometer is equal to 10 to the power minus 12 meters. Okay, 2 to less. Let us study the variation of atomic size in a group and in a period. Means when we go from left to right, whether the atomic size changes, and when we go from top to bottom, whether the atomic size changes. So let us see. Activity 5.7, atomic radii of elements in the second period are given below. Okay, so here period 2 elements are given: boron, beryllium, oxygen, nitrogen, lithium and carbon. Okay, and their atomic radius is given in picometers. Okay, 88 picometers for boron, and likewise when we go from left to right, okay, you can see here the variation in the atomic size. But if you see, okay, first it increases, then decreases, then again increases, then again decreases. Okay, how does it happen? Arrange them in decreasing order of their atomic radii. Okay, so here the biggest size is for beryllium, and the least is for oxygen. Are the elements now arranged in the pattern of a periodic table in the periodic city of periodic table? Which element has the largest and the smallest atoms? Okay, so as you can see, the largest is for beryllium and the smallest is for oxygen. How does the atomic radius change as you go from left to right in a period? Okay, what really happens there is, when we go from left to right, the number of orbital remains the same. Okay, and because of that, in the nucleus the number of protons increases, and in the orbits the number of electrons increases, and because increasing of the force of attraction between the nucleus and the electrons, the size will shrink as we go from left to right. But as we go from top to bottom, okay, the size will increase because of addition of an extra atomic orbit. Okay, so you will see that the atomic radius decreases in moving from left to right along the period. Okay, this is due to an increase in nuclear charge, which tends to pull the electrons closer to the nucleus and reduces the size of atoms. Okay, here nuclear charge means the number of protons and electrons. Coming to section 5.8. Study the variation in the atomic radii of first group elements given below and arrange them in the increasing order. Okay, so here group 1 elements are given, that is sodium, lithium, rubidium, cesium and potassium. Okay, and their atomic radii are given, okay, in picometers. For sodium it is 186 picometers, and for potassium 231 picometers. Okay, so you have to arrange them into increasing order. Okay, so the least one will be for lithium, and the highest is for cesium. Name the elements which have the smallest and the largest atoms. Okay, how does the atomic size vary as you go down a group? Okay, so if you try to write this, okay, you have to find the variation, okay, whether the increase in size, okay, is in a real fashion or a correct fashion. You will see that the atomic size increases down the group. This is because a new cell are being added as we go down the group. Okay, so as we go down the group, for every new element a new orbit will be added, and so the size will increase. This increases the distance between the outermost electrons and the nucleus, so that the atomic size increases in spite of increase in nuclear charge. Okay, so when we go from top to bottom, even though the number of charge increases, the number of orbitals increases, and thus the distance between the nucleus and the outermost orbital increases and the size increases. And as the size will increase, the force of attraction between the nucleus and the outermost orbital electrons will decrease. Okay, now coming to metallic and non-metallic properties of elements. Coming to activity 5.9. Okay, this is a very small activity. You just have to write the elements of third period and classify them whether they are metals and non-metals. Okay, on which side of the periodic table do you find metals, and to which side you find non-metals? You will find that to the left side of periodic table you will have metals, and to the right side you will have mostly non-metals, and at the center there may be some metalloids. Metalloids are those elements which have properties, okay, similar to metals and non-metals. As we can see, the metals like sodium, magnesium are towards the left hand side of PT, that is predictable, while non-metals like sulfur and chlorine are found on the right hand side. Always remember, metals are arranged in the left hand side and non-metals are arranged to the right hand side of the predictable. So as you see the predictable, you can say that when we go from left to right, the metallic properties decreases and non-metallic properties increases. In the middle, we have silicon, which is classified as semi-metal or metalloid because it exhibits some properties of both metals and non-metals. Okay, all right. In modern PT, a zigzag line separates metals from non-metals. The borderline elements boron, silicon, germanium, arsenic, antimony, tellurium and polonium are intermediate in properties and are called as metalloids or semi-metals. So let us go to periodic table given in the book and see how to find out whether the given elements are metals or non-metals. So here you can see, so these are metals, as you can see this in blue color. Okay, these are the metals. Then the pink color elements, they are semi metals or metalloids, and then the yellow color line, okay, or the orange color, they are non metals. Okay, so by color coding it becomes very easy for us to find out whether it is a metal or a non-metal, but you have to memorize for some time that whether a given element is metal or non-metal. As you have seen in chapter 3, metals tend to lose electrons while forming bonds, that is they are electropositive in nature. Always remember, metals lose their bonds and non-metals gain their electrons or while forming the bond. So metals are electropositive in nature and non-metals are mostly electronegative in nature. Coming to section 5.10, sorry, activity 5.10, how do you think the tendency to lose electron will change in a group, and how will this tendency change in period? Means when you go from top to bottom, okay, what will be the tendency of losing electrons, and when you go from left to right, how will be the tendency of losing electron will change, or whether it will remain the same. As the effective nuclear charge acting on the valence shell electrons increases across a period, the tendency to lose electrons will decrease down the group. Okay, the effective nuclear charge experienced by valence electrons is decreasing because the outermost electrons are farther away from the nucleus. Therefore, they can lose the electrons very easily. Hence, metallic character decreases across the period and increases down the group. Okay, that means when we go from left to right, the probability of losing the electron will decrease, and when we go from top to bottom, the probability of losing electrons will increase because increase in the atomic radii. So from left to right, the metallic properties decreases, and from top to bottom, the metallic properties increases. Non-metals, on the other hand, are electronegative because they gain electrons, or they try to attract the electrons towards themselves. They tend to form bonds by gaining electrons. Let us learn about the variations in this property. Activity 5.11. How would the tendency to gain electrons change as you go from left to right across a period? Okay, so when we go from left to right, okay, the tendency of gaining electron increases, and thus the electronegativity increases, and so the non-metallic character increases. Okay, how would the tendency to gain electrons change as you go down the bottom? It decreases as the trends in the electronegativity show. Non-metals are found on the right hand side of the predictable towards the top. Okay, these trends also help us to predict the nature of oxides formed by the elements, because it is known to you that the oxides of metals are basic and that for non-metals it is acidic in nature. Okay, so this is all about periodic classification of elements. Now question came, and about this we will do a separate video for all the questions. So if you have any question related to any topic in chapter 5 or even for previous chapters, previous videos, you can type that into the comment section of this video. I hope you have enjoyed this video, and I request to all of you once again, if you are new to my channel Pratik Singh Classes, okay, please subscribe it now and hit the bell icon, like and share it, okay. And in next video we will start chapter 6, okay, and this is the 24th video for CBSE standard 10th science. Till next video, take care of yourself. Bye bye.